Hello again, my name is Jeff, I am a sorter restorer and thank you for joining us on part 4 of our restoration. This is Jenny Girl, our Chow. She's our assistant and director, although you won't see much of her today due to the middle of a heat wave. And as you know, we are restoring a 1972 Mobylette X7 and this is part 4. Well, Jenny's just setting up for a few camera angles, and so we won't see her much more today because of the heat wave. And today we'll be looking after these pedals and the pulley. Now, I will be sandblasting the cranks of the pedal. The rubbers are very good condition, but for some reason someone's welded it in, so that may have to be spray painted. In the pulley, there's the cogs come off, and we've got some bearings in there, and I'm hoping to just put this rubber in just to protect the bearings inside, although that does change a little bit later on. And then the pulley crank sprocket for the pedal chain, that will be powder coated as well. Now this is my new little trolley underneath the sandblaster, saves doing my backing every time. And as I say, I've now put these little rubber stoppers in, and there's some tape in there as well, just to stop as much dust going in there as possible. So I'm sorry about the images here, it's loads of reflections, it's quite a warm day, but it does clear the old black paint and rust etc. Very well. Okay, so there's the pulley wheel after media blasting, and we're going to give the axle and the sprocket a bit of a degrease in the parts washer before we put it in the media blaster. I didn't film the media blasting of this as it wasn't a great deal to see. Okay, so now to the pedal cranks. I put some tape around the bearing area, don't want those to be affected. And also here you can see I've had to take the bearings out in the end. After cleaning those in the parts washer, I noticed that it was plastic. It was actually holding the roller bearings in with just a metal surround. So they were just tapped out with a blunt instrument just to tap those out. So now I'm just going to put some grease around those bearings just to protect them for now. It does help if you don't drop them on the floor. Now I feel a bit like a prostate consultant. I know how they feel. So now it's taped up with some heat resistant tape. That's completely clear through there now. And as usual, just going to go over with some acetone now just to clear off any last remaining grease or dirt. Okay, so I'm using the Electrostaticmagic Nickel colour. This is not exactly ideal outside in the garden. It was a little bit windy. So Jenny is nowhere to be seen now because of the heat, so she wasn't out here then. And then that go in the oven a little bit longer than normal, probably about 15 to 20 minutes at 180 degrees. And whilst that's cooking, I'm just going to tape up the axle with some heat resistant tape. I don't want to get any powder coat on that area. So after media blasting with the sprocket for the chain, we'll just go over with some acetone again, just to make sure that's okay for powder coating. And then back again to the Electrostaticmagic Nickel colour. Well, it is still a bit windy, but it's sticking okay to the part. Okay, so here's the pulley. It's come up quite nicely with the powder coat and also the sprocket and axle. Now just putting the bearings back in, just squarely tap them in. Now on this side, which is the pedal side, the bearing needs to be flush with the top of the shaft. And then the other side, there has to be a 1.5mm gap, so it has to be receded into there 1.5mm. That's to allow the circlip to fit in there. So now just going around with a little bit of grease as we put it back together. And then we can put in the pulley cogs. The larger ones go towards the back, and that's for this locking mechanism. So you twist it all the way round eventually, and that allows that to spin free, and turn it the other way, and it locks it up. So that would be in motorbike mode, and at the moment it's in bicycle mode. So now just putting a little bit of grease into the bushes. And some onto the axle. There we go, we've got the circlips already there and a space washer, and then just wiggle that back in. There we go, nice and smooth. Now on the other side, I had a bit of trouble getting the circlip on, but eventually I used these dental tools to open it up. So that will go back on now. And that's spinning nice and freely. I am going to keep that on there because I may have to take that off when we put the engine back. So now the pedals are all sort of masked up, and I'm just going over with some etch primer. I did 2 coats of this. It did dry very quickly in this hot sun. It's about 30 degrees. And then using a Jaguar silver colour to go over the crank again. That was 2 coats, and then finally I went over with 2 coats of clear coat. So So there we go for this week. There's Jenny, sold out with this weather. I put the pedals on just temporary. Hope you enjoyed watching this episode. Please join us again next time. And on behalf of Jenny and myself, we wish you a very pleasant day. Goodbye for now.